What is good? We're back and we're talking players we are avoiding like the plague. So we're going to go through, we're going to look at some ADP and kind of talk about which guys we haven't been clicking the button on in drafts that we've been doing, right? This isn't about, I dislike the guy, I don't think he's a good player. It's just when I get to that certain point in drafts, I'm picking other guys around him. I like them a little more and I just haven't found myself clicking the button. So we were going to do a show. It's going to be called Must Avoids. You don't have to avoid them. They're probably good players. But we want to get you guys all hot and bothered. These are the shows that everybody gets the most upset about. I don't hate the player. I just don't love the spot that he's going. So we're going to talk about it. Chev, you want to kick us off? How you doing, man?
You know me, brother. Any day on this side of dirt's a good one.
Hell yeah, brother.
And guess what?
What is
it? Today, I'm about to make a lot of people not have a good day.
We're going to bury your favorite player.
Very, very upset. And it doesn't bring me great joy to do this because personally, as a football player, he's exceeded my expectations to date. I had somewhat middling expectations for him, and he blew it out of the water. And I think we might be drafting him at his ceiling right now.
Ooh. This is not, so, I genuinely strongly dislike those kind of sentiments, but what do you got for me?
Ladarius McConkey the third.
Racist.
Yep. That's me. That's me. Like, you know how sometimes when there's a white corner in the game and they go, milk check. Yo, I played back in the day. They would just yell white legs. Like, one of my best friends was a safety, and whenever he would check in sub packages, you would just hear the offense go, white legs.
Casper.
And they would immediately try to run like all
right to him
just to see. Yeah. But he's a state champion. Yeah, he's a state champion in the 400 and the 200 and in triple jump. So it
Who's this? Cooper DeJean? He can dunk too?
Yeah, he actually could jump really high. But
all right, tell us why you hate white receivers.
Back to I don't hate white receivers. I just hate white receivers that are going as the wide receiver 10. And I can't create a path in my head to get him past this wide receiver 10 thing. So he was 26th in end zone targets in 2024. He was 20th in first read target share. He's 30th in expected fantasy points amongst players with at least 100 targets. He's 20th in expected fantasy points per route run. And I just can't. So the high water mark in any Greg Roman offense is 145 targets. And that was with Hollywood Brown back in 2020, I believe. Mm-hmm. So I want to exercise a little bit of caution. I think Ladd McConkey's an excellent football player. I mean, you could throw out all the wonderful platitudes and then the advanced metrics on your side of the argument if you love Ladd McConkey for why he's going to be awesome.
Of course.
But my thing is, I just don't see how it goes higher. We talk about now when people are attacking me or attacking us in the comments because we say Trey Harris is going to be a stud. You point to the low passing volume. So that applies to Ladd McConkey too, but it's levels to everything. So if you think Ladd McConkey, you think the Chargers passing attack doesn't have a ton of volume to go around, how are we going to get Ladd McConkey from 112 targets to 140 or whatever it's going to take for a guy to crack top 6, 6 to 8, we did this thought exercise the other day and I couldn't come up with a way that I could get Ladd McConkey to a Drake London-esque target share. So I just can't, I can't click the button at 301. Wide receiver 10 in our ADP currently is Superflex tight end premium. I can't click the button at 301. We're talking third round reversal. That's going to be your first third round, like your first pick of the third round. If you're on that corner over there, and I would rather just about every player in the third round over Ladd McConkey currently.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm fine with clicking the button on Ladd there. I think he's a really good receiver, and you got to count all the metrics, at least 1.5 because he is white. I mean, you got to give him some bonus points. But
is that
I do think
that privilege thing?
that's the premium, yeah, or privilege, the premium privilege, yeah, oh yeah. I do think that there can be some more volume. I don't like to look at everything as what happened last year as being the final answer. It's definitely good puzzles and context clues. I think as long as we're seeing Herbert be in the upper 30 to 33 pass attempts a game, I think there's enough in this offense for Trey and Ladd to eat, right? But I get it. I understand what you're saying. The thing is I hate the argument of like, I'm drafting him at a ceiling. Like, that's okay. Like, sometimes it's okay to draft him at a ceiling and just get the points as Ladd's scoring, right? You don't have to draft him instead of Drake London, So I understand what you're saying, though. I think I slightly disagree there. So I'll stick up for the commenters here. But, there are certainly some other players around there that are intriguing.
Oh, no, we're about to play a this or that game here, bud. Okay?
Okay.
You clicking the button on Ladd McConkey? Or are you clicking the button on Marv?
Marv.
Okay. Are you clicking the button on Ladd or are you clicking the button on JSN?
I'll take Ladd.
Or you take Ladd. Okay. You clicking the button on Garrett Wilson or you clicking the button on Ladd McConkey?
We just did the cornerstones, and I think I moved those two around about 15 times before I did it. I'm going to do it for my people. I'm going Ladd.
That's wicked work. Everything that you said on this channel about Garrett Wilson, that is.
I think it's really close. I think it's really, really. I like I said, I moved that, and those cornerstones, I jockeyed those two around. No racism.
The point is, Ladd's a really good player, but this is a really tough choice. And last but not least, you clicking the button on Achane or you clicking the button on Ladd McConkey?
Probably Achane.
So when I said I would rather just about every player in the third round over him, that list, we've done this before where I said I would take Ted over Ladd. The only player I wouldn't take over Ladd in the third round in our ADP currently is Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter's at 312. Ladd McConkey's at 301.
Yeah, let me get Ladd.
Yeah, everybody else, CJ Stroud. Okay, so I lied. I would take Ladd over CJ Stroud right now.
Yeah. Well, that's a good segue for me because 3 spots down from Ladd is Omarion Hampton at 304, right? It's not that I think Omarion Hampton's going to be good. I think he has a really chance to be awesome. There's a bunch of players around here that I really, really like and know are good. And then all the rest of the rookies are like 2 more rounds down. And I could probably get 2 of those guys and I could take Achane, right? I could get Achane, I could get Caleb and RJ Harvey. And I'm fine with, I'm fine with that. So like for me personally, when I get to this area, I don't know how many mocks we've done. I think I've maybe clicked the Omarion Hampton button once, right? So that's why I came to the conclusion of, he's not a must avoid by any means. He's just, I have been avoiding him. I haven't been clicking the button on him. We did the show that we're clicking the button on. I haven't been clicking the button on Omarion Hampton. I don't hate him by any means, any stretch of the imagination. I would just rather have Marv, Ladd, JSN, quarterbacks, Bo Nix, and CJ Stroud. Like, give me those guys. Achane, Garrett Wilson, I'd rather have a lot of the players that are around him right now. Frankly, I'd probably rather have Chedaroa McMillan than Omarion Hampton.
Omarion Hampton, yeah. Yeah, okay.
And Breece Hall's down here at 311. I still think Breece is elite. I'd probably take Breece over Omarion Hampton as well.
I 100% would take Breece over Omarion Hampton.
That might get everybody more mad than Ladd.
That's going to make people really mad, and I don't care.
We just did cornerstones. We've talked about it. We've talked about Breece before. That's fine. If you're out on Breece, I had Breece last year and he made me mad. So I don't like him anymore. So
yeah, I hate 15 points a game
at a floor.
How would you like it if we paid your 2025 league entry fee? All you have to do is submit proof of a 5-star review from Spotify and or iTunes, click the link, and fill out the entry form. Multiple entries allowed. Commandeer your friend's phone to quadruple your chances to win. Every losing entry rolls over to the next month's contest, all for your pleasure.
That was my first one was Hampton. I did want to go back up to the top of this ADP, and we've switched back to Jaden Daniels being at the 2 spot in the second pick of the startup. And now as a cop out for me, I'm probably trading out of the first 3 picks and just moving back in a startup. So I'm not clicking the button on Jaden Daniels, but I think I would rather have Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen over Jaden Daniels. I know he's a lot younger. I just haven't clicked the button a ton on Jaden Daniels. I think maybe I just was in one at the 4 spot and I got Jaden Daniels and I did click the button over Jamar Chase. But how do you feel about that? And we'll keep it moving after this. I just wanted to get a quick, there's so we see so much fluctuation in the top quarterbacks, not named Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen really, and now we've seen the fluctuation in Mahomes. We saw C.J. Stroud in this position last year. Obviously, there's legs there with Jaden Daniels. I think he's a worker, so I don't have a ton of concern about it, but I do have a concern in a year or two that, or even this year, that he does regress a hair. Right? It's hard to beat that rookie expectation that everyone's now put on him. Are you clicking the button there or no?
What I would like to do is trade. Like, I'm good with trading back there just because you're never going to get more for Jaden Daniels than I feel like you can right now.
Yeah. And if I took him in a rookie draft last year, I'm hanging on to him. I'm not trading him. I'm just saying that.
Nobody's saying trade him.
Right. I'm just saying when I'm starting a new startup and it's the first button I got to click, I don't know if I'm doing it.
Yeah, you can still get a really good player in the first round and get capital on top of it and potentially match the 23 or 22 points a game that he was at as a rookie later on in the draft. But you also are going to have a first round worthy player and draft capital. So, or extra picks.
Right.
Whatever you want. Well, choose your adventure, but you can get a lot for Jaden Daniels and trading for that spot in a startup.
Yeah. And I'm going to do one more here just before we get out of the first round. And Brock Bowers, I've done a bunch of startups. Haven't clicked the button on Brock, not because I don't like Brock. Again, if I have Brock, I'm not trading him for just about anything. I think he's awesome. I just know that there's another player at 205, Trey McBride, that I can get that I think is, for me, the tight end one and can give you everything. I actually feel safer for him year over year than one crazy production rookie year. And then, I think Brock's going to be awesome year over year, but I think we could see a little bit of regression back in year 2. And just,
you mean to tell me he's not going to come within 4 receptions of the all-time receptions record for a tight end every single year?
He may come out and get
what
better
you're saying, Casey?
And smash it, but like at the 107, 108, I'm usually skipping Brock for a Neighbors or a Bijan or a Hurts or something else there, or a CeeDee Lamb, and then I'm eyeballing Trey McBride at that 205 spot. So anyway, just wanted to touch on those two real quick. I don't hate either player. I like them a lot. I think they're cornerstone franchise building dynasty assets. Just wanted to get your take on that. All right. Give me your next stone cold lead pipe lock of the I'm not clicking the button of the week.
Oh, man. I really think I'm going to piss some people off here.
Ooh.
And I think, anytime you have anything not nice to say about what people think is going to be an elite offense.
Ooh. I don't know where you're going here.
It's going to make people very, very upset. So
Tucker Kraft?
Never. Tucker Kraft would never be on this list. But it is a tight end.
Don't even say Evan Ingram. Don't say Evan Ingram.
And he does play in the NFC North. So Evan Ingram marks safe from the hate of Chev for this episode. But it is TJ Hockenson.
Ooh, dude, just throw up your fist and walk out, because this is two whites in a row. Just throw it up, brother, and go on and get.
No. We gotta draw a line here, because there's a ton of white tight ends.
That's true.
And I love Tucker Kraft. So we can't. You don't get that one. You can't have that one. So, but I just okay. In order for all of the Vikings weapons to achieve their pass catching weapons to achieve what they need to achieve, we have to depend on an outcome that's either dependent upon JJ McCarthy being what Nick Mullins was for those 4 starts, and then what Sam Darnold was for most of 2024, 35 touchdowns, 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Now, he did have 27 turnover-worthy plays, and I don't think anybody's talking about the fact that, Sam Darnold is a seasoned vet who you just alluded to the fact in the previous episode we were talking about guys were clicking the button on. He had to go do the work. He had to go be a backup in San Francisco. He had to go learn from one of the greatest offensive minds in the game. He had to go be a backup in Carolina. He had to go do all those things to get him to this point. And now we're thrusting these expectations on JJ McCarthy. So I just think, just based on what we're looking at for TJ Hockenson, I mean, he had a 79.3 passer rating when targeted last year with Sam Darnold. He was 24th in yards per target over expectation amongst tight ends with at least 50 targets. And that was at minus 0.3 yards per target over expectation. So he wasn't really creating anything. He's one of the only tight ends in the last 5 years, I want to say, to have at least 60 targets and not score a single touchdown. Okay. Yeah. He's 27th in line. They're just lining him up on the line of scrimmage as a traditional tight end. Not really being moved around the formation. And why would you? You've got Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson that are going to command the targets. You're going to move Justin Jefferson around. You're going to line Jordan Addison up, on the line of scrimmage and, off the ball as a Z. You're not going to move TJ Hockenson around that much. And then he's 25th in fantasy points per route run. So I just can't bring myself to click the button on TJ Hockenson in the 7th round. I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah. I mean, he's coming back from an injury, right? So, you got to take some of that into consideration for Hockenson.
He's already back now.
Yeah, he's back now. But I mean, last year, I think he only played 7 games, started 7 games.
Yeah. He played 10.
Okay.
But I don't think he played a full snap share until after a couple of games.
Yeah. I think he's one of the just outside of the top tight end bubble. I think he's a really, really, really good tight end. I think he's not quite on the elite level, but he can be up there with the guys who can command 100 targets from the tight end position.
I mean, yeah, he's done it before.
So I disagree there. I think he was just coming back off of something. I think he can do all. He's proven to me that he can get open and be valuable. Jordan Addison was a touchdown machine last year. Everyone always expects him to regress with touchdowns. I think Jordan Addison's just a good player. But you're right? There's a lot of mouths to feed and there's an unknown. So how this could go, Jefferson's certainly going to get his one way or another. We've seen a bunch of quarterbacks go through there, but JJ may love the tight end, and he may be the safety blanket, and he may just absorb targets all season long. But I got to agree with you that though I like TJ Hockenson, and I'm a TJ Hockenson owner in a lot of places, I'm probably more likely to skip him in the startup and try to buy him retroactively, right? Because I've done a lot of startups or mocks for sure, and Kittle's a few boxes ahead of him at 701, and you got Hawk here at 704. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would certainly rather have Kittle, now a little older, right? Hawk's still in that 27, 28 range, which should give you a good 5 to 7 more years of TJ Hockenson at a really, really high level, right? That's just kind of how the tight ends, they age in dog years. I haven't clicked the button a whole lot on TJ in this, and it's mostly just because every time I get there's guys like Jameson Williams, Jalen Waddle, Chuba Hubbard, Pickens, Metcalf. There's some rookie wide receivers if you want to go that route. And then some guys above them, Kenny Walker might fall down. Caleb Johnson might fall down. You could take the shot on Colston Loveland a little earlier if you wanted to go rookie. So there's a lot of options. Bama Bryce is right there. And it's just, there's a lot of uncertainties there of I don't know if JJ can play. I don't know if he can facilitate 3 guys. Maybe he's good enough to operate the offense, but not good enough to facilitate 3 really good players, right?
Optimal performances from 3 different pass catchers.
Right. That's an offense that has to be a lot of points.
For sure, a quarterback one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
yeah. And if it is, it's awesome. That's a smash ADP. If he's awesome, then that's going to smash. But I think I'd be trying to maybe purchase that in season rather than buy here. So I can of a fellow long-haired white. I mean, I got, I'm usually
listen. All right. We're going to put you. Okay. We're going back in the hot seat right here. You clicking the button on TJ Hockenson or DK Metcalf?
DK.
Okay. You clicking the button on Jalen Waddle or TJ Hockenson?
Waddle.
You clicking the button on DJ Moore or TJ Hockenson?
I want to say DJ Moore, same thing though. Crowded. Don't know if he's going to be the guy.
Well, I wanted to do that one because it's kind of a this or that scenario.
I might go Hawk there just because it's premium and the positions. If you hit on, I think Hawk's a really good player. I also think DJ Moore's a really good player. I'll go Hawk there, and I probably should go.
I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you on the. I'm with you on the DJ Moore thing just because it's crowded, mouse feed, the premium puts it over top. 0.5 tight end premium is kind of the standard that we're using for our ADP. I would be with you on that. I think that just him being just a few picks after George Kittle just kind of hammered. That's burning my brain up right now because I can't imagine seeing both of these guys on the clock, like available on the clock in the 7th round, and I don't click the button on Kittle.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I do because I want to fight back a little harder, but I don't. If you did exposure to every mock we've done this off season, I might have clicked the button twice on TJ. Right.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna go back to the well here, and I've talked about this guy, and I don't hate him at all. I think he's got a really good chance to be a really, really good, fun, productive player. But it's Travis Hunter for me. Haven't clicked the button once. Coming in at 312 right now in startup ADP. You want to take him in a rookie mock and take a swing for the fences? Awesome. There's no fucking way I'm drafting him in the 3rd round. Like every single other player surrounding him plays offense 100% of the time, every time. There's so much to figure out here, and there's so many variables that for him to pay off the third round thing, he would have to be like. I just don't know how we got all the way to he's Justin Jefferson. I just don't understand that.
Look, but Casey, listen. Casey, you shut up right now and you listen, okay?
Yeah.
He's the only wide receiver since Calvin Johnson to be drafted in the top 2.
Yeah, that's because he plays defense.
Did you know? No, it's because he was a receiver.
Yeah. Right. Well, now we've seen, some people be like, oh man, Liam Cohen comes out and says, well, he's played a lot of offense on that other thing because we already know he's good at defense. He needed reps at offense. Look, I'm not saying that he's not going to be a productive wide receiver. I just, like you just talked about
Lad
McConkey up there, and he's going to play a full complement of snaps. Like I don't know what the snap percentage for Hunter is, but it would have to get every time he's out there, he'd have to just get peppered every single time. Yes. And I just to pay off this 80, it feels crazy to me, and I could be completely wrong, and that'll be fine. And it doesn't have anything to do with the ability of Travis Hunter. If you said, hey, Travis Hunter is a full-time wide receiver, and he's just going to play D-back here and there situationally, I'd say, sure, let's go 312. But I just got a real sinking suspicion here that he's going to be playing a lot of defensive back for Jacksonville. And when he's going to have times where he's really awesome on offense, and he's going to have times where you can't play him. So I don't want to do that in the 3rd round. Look, all around him, there's Tedero McMillan, there's Achane, there's Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, there's Jordan Love below him, Rashee Rice, Bucky Irving, Kyler Murray, who we talked about on the other episode. JT's right there. Now maybe a little older and you don't want to deal with him, but I mean, we just listed some really, really awesome players. Travion Henderson is as another fellow rookie right there, right? There's a lot of players that I just feel so much more comfortable taking in the 3rd round. And like, those are the rounds where I just don't want to fuck it up, right? I don't want to screw up my startup in those areas. Like I want to know that I got something fairly solid in that area. And I just don't want to swing on Hunter there. I haven't pressed the button, and that's really what it is. And again, it's no shade on Travis Hunter and his ability. He's obviously got ability out the ass, right? He's got drafted as a defensive and an offensive player. That's insane. What he is insane. And if in 2 years he switches to full-time offense, then this is absolutely worth it. There's just a lot of things that are thrown up in the air right now that you're like, ooh, I don't know what it is. And that's some certainty right there to be pulling the trigger on that for me. And I'm not, look, if you're drafting a free league, a $25 league, a $50 league, sure. But once we're getting up into the 250s, 500s, I do not want to take a risk on Travis Hunter in that area. And I think that's what a lot of this spawns from. Hey, this should be fun, yada, yada, yada. Of course, we're playing fake football, but like, I think a lot of y'all in the comments who are big mad about Travis Hunter And I'm sure there's big time players in there that I win this and I do that. And look, if I won all the time, I probably wouldn't be on here telling you about it, right? I'd be keeping my secret, right? It's really hard to win all the time. Been playing, I got a lot of experience. This is for some entertainment. This is for us to have fun and offer some insight on what we think. And look, I just as somebody who would be playing for, all my leagues aren't crazy expensive, but like I got some high dollar leagues, and like I'm not willing to risk that on Travis Hunter in a startup there.
We'll be back with more FFD after a short commercial break. If you're as serious as we are about Dynasty, you got to be playing on FFPC. They are now the proud home of over 2,000 Dynasty leagues, and not a single league has ever folded. Incredible. Drafts are kicking off every day, so go over to myffpc.com and take your game to the next level. New users get $25 off their first league using code FFD. Holler at your boys.
No, I mean, wide receiver 16 is unconscionable to me. I just can't. He would have to shatter the all-time record for targets per route run if we're not talking about him playing full-time receiver on offense. And I can't get myself to believe that he's going to, A, do that with Brian Thomas Jr. out there on the field, and B, just be able to be that impactful and that efficient. If we're talking 6 targets a game, that's even, I feel like that's even close to pie in the sky stuff. 6 targets a game comes out to like 102 targets. So I can't bring myself to do this.
That's almost Michael Pittman had 106 targets last year.
Yes. I can't get myself to do it. And yes, is there a vast chasm of talent between Michael Pittman and Travis Hunter? Sure. But we know Michael Pittman is going to be out there on the field. He's going to play in 2 wide receiver sets, and he's priced 8 rounds later than Travis Hunter. The point is, there's a level of projection that I'm not comfortable with when it comes to Travis Hunter that apparently everybody else. Now, one of my first appearances on the show, I said, hey, what if Travis Hunter plays receiver? And the whole thing was, he's going to play corner. He's going to be a corner. He's so much better at corner. And now it's flipped to, hey, man, he's actually Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson is Brian Thomas is T. Higgins.
Yeah.
So the mental gymnastics, because your favorite podcaster loves Travis Hunter, are just absolutely ridiculous. And I can't bring myself to click the button either. So I wanted to push back on this. And then you picked a player that I've been unequivocally out on because of the steam since, I've never clicked the button on Travis Hunter in a startup.
Yeah, me neither. And again, we get all offense on Trav. I'm all in. I think he can. He has ability to be a top receiver in the league if that's what he dedicates the craft to. But like, I need a craftsman, not a jack of all trades right here. Right. That's what I need. That's what Justin Jefferson is. That's what Jamar Chase is. That's what those guys are doing all the time. They're not in defensive meeting rooms. They're not playing defensive back. They're not splitting time. And like, I'm not, you don't think Justin Jefferson probably could have played a little bit of corner?
I mean, I think that was the initial offer that was made to him, was as a DB.
Yeah.
Going to LSU. But
I'm not trying to league entry fee shame anybody. That wasn't my intent. It was just like when the buttholes get a little tighter on the dollar amounts, I want to fuck it up even less in the 3rd round. Yeah. You're trying to
secure an opportunity to compete to get your money back and then more.
Right.
I just don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable, just honestly, at this ADP right now. I don't feel comfortable.
No, and that's what this is all about, right? It's not about we hate the guy, we hate the player. I think Travis Hunter is extremely talented and could be a phenomenal receiver. I'm just not willing to spend $312 to figure that out for the next 3 years.
Exactly.
So, all right, man, you got any more players that you want to not click the button on, or you want to wrap this one up?
Oh, well, if I get a chance to hate on, if I got time, you'll allow me to just hate on some people. I'm going to hate on Zay Flowers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to hate on Zay Flowers.
What do you got for me?
I'm going to hate on. As a wide receiver, 22, 603. That's a little too rich for my blood. Now, I've alluded to the problems that I have with Zay Flowers, and it is not, again, just like with Ladd McConkey, it's not the talent, it's the situation. I just can't get past one wide receiver 22, 603. He's surrounded by James Cook. He's surrounded by Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, RJ Harvey, who I love.
Sure.
Derrick Henry, Caleb Johnson. All those guys.
Derrick Henry. Never clicking the button on Derrick Henry at 606.
I have a problem with it. But again, you've got a fairly informed direction that you're going to be going in by the 6th round. So you can decide whether or not Derrick Henry fits for you or not. Mm-hmm. But Zay Flowers, for me, we've talked about it before. I just don't see how he's anything other than their 4th option when they get inside the 20. Yeah. Think about it.
I think 4th is a stretch. And I think we could see some TD upside.
So no. Just stay with me.
I mean, Likely and Andrews.
Mark
but
Andrews.
Other than that, who else?
Mark Andrews. Mm-hmm. Right? Likely.
Mm-hmm.
Bateman.
No, I'll take Zay.
Oh, what? How?
I think we haven't had the touchdown. I think he can be better in that area. So I just think he's a better receiver. I think he's a better player. I think him and Lamar have a better chemistry. So I'd nix Bateman on that argument. But you could certainly say Lamar as the 3rd.
No, I would say Derrick Henry would be. So Derrick Henry and Lamar would be 1 and 2. But of the passing game options, you're giving me 2 tight ends before we get to even if you were to take Zay and that was correct, you're still behind Derrick Henry and Lamar when we get inside the 20.
Yeah.
I
think there's another level for Zay to get to. I don't even think we've seen the peak here. I think the ad-libbing, I think how he moves and they move together. I think as this offense grows, I like those 2 paired together quite a bit. I think we've seen Zay grow a little bit from year 1 to year 2. I think we're about to see another stage of growth here. And I think we don't need a whole bunch more touchdowns. We just need 3 or 4 more, right? I think that's possible. My big disagreement is I get to this point in the draft, and I think there is a little bit of a dead spot at times, depending on the draft, right? Sometimes it is like you're looking at DJ Moore and Terry McLaurin and Jordan Addison. A lot of the times when I'm in these situations, RJ Harvey is not there. And you're right. I might take a swing at RJ Harvey before I take a swing at Zay Flowers. I'm not taking James Cook or Derrick Henry, though. Caleb Johnson. Sure, that's my guy. If he's there, I'll take him. But I like some. There's half the spots in there for Zay that I don't mind, especially if he gets pushed down. I think in PPR, I think Zay's a pretty solid asset. I think he's starting to be appropriately priced.
Yeah,
but I get it. I know what you're saying. The touchdown upside could be potentially limited, and maybe this is who he is for the rest of his career. But I think the volume could step up one more notch. I think some big plays could step up one more notch. And I think if we got 3 or 4 more touchdowns, I think everybody's pretty happy with what Zay Flowers has given you.
Well, sure. If we get more volume and we get more, we're able to get more of the intermediate catch and run, Zay being Zay, then yeah. But I just, it's grown. I'm not sure how much more it grows.
Yeah. I mean, look, if I can get 85, 11, and 7, you're pretty stoked, right? And that's not that far off of where you are.
No, I mean, 85, 1100, sure. But I think
that's 3 more touchdowns than he had this year.
Yeah. 4 to 6 is where we're going to end more times than we don't, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he just starts scoring from like 80 yards out.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I don't know either. But yeah, I just wanted I had to do that one because I wanted to fuck with you before we got out.
I mean, I get it. I do. I get it. I'm a big Zay guy, so I'm there.
Listen, I am too. I just for fantasy, I just really, really, really don't like I don't like clicking that button because I can't get there with the touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I can't get him to 135 to 140 targets. Same thing with Ladd, same thing with Zay, except for Ladd probably is going to continue to score 6 to 8, with spiking like 10 to 11 touchdowns. He's great in contested catches. We aren't getting that type of usage from Zay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think even if Zay comes out and scores 10 touchdowns this year, people will still be like, well, he's going to regress, which he may. But he's definitely battling the touchdown.
You got to beat the touchdown allegations, big dog.
Yeah. Not clicking the button on Derrick Henry at 606. He's just 31. I don't want to do it. James Cook is the other one. He's starting to come down to a point where I will start clicking the button more. He's at 605 right now, but we talked about probably on the last time we did sells. Just attempt percentage, 45.2%. Snap percentage, 48%. That's 38th. Attempt percentage, 28th. Targets, 32nd. 38 targets for him. Target share, 7.7%, 39th. That's not what we want from our James Cook, right? We had a ton of touchdowns last year. Only 207 attempts. Just got over 1,000 yards, which are good numbers. But 16 TDs, man. That's probably not going to happen year over year. So I like I said, we're getting to the point where I'm definitely more comfortable clicking the button on James Cook. When he was up in that 5th round, I was out, and he's slowly sliding down here to where, like I'd rather have Kenny Walker, Caleb Johnson, or RJ Harvey if I'm talking running backs there than James Cook.
I've been one of the biggest James Cook fans for quite some time. And with all the negativity surrounding him, this is not the time to be clicking the button and being hopeful. Him and Kyron, Kyron's another guy that we can hate on real quick. Him and Kyron just have, they're in tremendous offensive environments. They're going to have the workhorse role, in my opinion. I think we did the show where we talked about Ray Davis quite a bit, second-year running backs, right? Mm-hmm. And the carry split was so much more. I thought I mixed up the numbers in between James Cook's 2023 and 2024. So he dipped from 237 attempts in 23 to 207 in 24. Then Ray Davis gets 113 carries, right? And, we view Ray Davis as nothing but a backup, but that's more than just backup usage, right?
Mm-hmm. So like that role, Ty Johnson in there,
right?
Catching some more balls, right? And Ray caught a couple, 17 targets, 15 catches, maybe, or I think he was 17 for 17 actually. Ray Davis on catches.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm with you on James Cook. The issue that I have is the fact that we don't have the contract certainty now. If the Bills come out and they say, "Hey, we're going to give James Cook a 3-year, $42 million extension," then obviously he skyrockets justifiably so. And we're still going to be cruising for a bruising because people are going to be counting on that type of fantasy production. That 16 touchdowns, I don't feel like is sticky. The Bills scored 32 rushing touchdowns. I just don't feel like year over year that's going to be sticky. The Josh Allen rushing touchdowns are sticky, but I don't feel like James Cook's are. So yeah, that's why I can't be in on him currently.
I would say the contract doesn't even really do anything for me. Like, I don't even mind if James Cook goes somewhere else. I would say Kyron's contract, if he signs a contract, that means more to me and solidifies some value for Kyron than anything. Now, Kyron will go somewhere else and get some run, but I don't think nobody's going to love Kyron like McVay loves Kyron, right?
It ain't going to be 85% of the snaps. I can tell you that much.
Right. But if McVay signs him and gives him, 2 years of some okay money, and Kyron's like, yeah, I'll take it to stay around in LA for what we're building, then I'm pretty thrilled at Kyron at the 503 area. I'm with you. I haven't really been clicking the button, been a big Kyron supporter. He's going to give you one more year in redraft here. I'll take the swing on Kyron in best ball. Sure. I'll take the swing on Kyron potentially, but yeah, no, Cook and Kyron definitely haven't been clicking a ton of buttons in Dynasty on those guys. Like I said, really the Cook contract doesn't move the needle all that much if he re-signs with Buffalo. I think I think I'm still in this. I'm back to the situation that I'm in right now, right? But I'd almost rather you go somewhere else.
That's fair. That's
fair. And hey,
I don't mind
looking
that
at Cook's numbers next year and being like, oh yeah, he had 60% of the snaps and he caught 50 balls again, and it kind of swung back the other way. I don't know, man. Joe Brady and the way he's calling his offense has got me the most concerned with any fantasy asset over there, really. But they're all fairly, outside of Cook, they're all fairly cheaply priced, right? I'll take some swings on
them. They're so run heavy that it scares me from a regression standpoint. Now, you did eliminate all the turnovers that were keeping Josh Allen from winning the MVP, apparently. But he eliminates the turnovers, but they go the most run heavy in the league, and that was good for James Cook. We'll see if it remains good for James Cook is kind of the thing. Mm-hmm. And if we're not going to catch passes, we're touchdown dependent, and he's 195-pound scat back. That's the issue. Same thing, he's going to handle a lot of volume between the 20s, but he's the secondary option in the run game when they get inside the 5.
Yeah, 63 rush yards a game, 18th, right? So, all right, let's wrap this one up. Chev, what do you got for him?
Man, I don't have a whole lot, bro. I'm really excited that we're getting close to real football. We are now the Chargers open training camp with rookies on July 12th. I'm super pumped about that. Oh, I was supposed to talk about like, all my personal. Oh yeah. The Chev 90 on Twitter. Go find all that. Download the app, all that stuff. We're going to do some real cool stuff here pretty soon. So go check out everything that we're doing.
Yeah. We got the Redraft channel about ready to go within a week or two. That'll be launching. We got all sorts of good stuff coming up. We'll be streaming plenty of best balls. We'll be streaming plenty of redraft mocks. We got redraft ADP that we just got. And so we'll be launching the Redraft channel and a new podcast network. FFD Radio will be available. We'll have we're going to build some other shows out over there as well. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming down the pike here. And, we're going to do a little football show that's more based solely on football than fantasy. But for the Dynasty people, I think that's a really important aspect of this and should be talked about more. Real football should be discussed a lot heavier in the Dynasty circle. And it's just going to make you a better player and more aware of what is going on. And so that's why I think it's important. And I think Dynasty guys can do a good job of surface level analysis from the radio talking heads. They don't know what the hell's going on the third wide receiver and the offensive line and this and that, and where Dynasty guys kind of do. And so I think if we can platter that into a football show, a weekly football show, I think it can really benefit everybody, as well as give us an avenue to just talk, football and not be constrained to having to, buy, sell, or hold
game and ADP. And,
right. So that's all coming. We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you next week. See ya.